All right, well, welcome everyone. I am Cathy Cocozella. I'm so excited to be with you guys. You do not know how much joy you have brought me already by all of your posts on our Executive Bound page. The gifts were especially fun, but I did read everybody's answer to the 3 questions. Every single one of you, unless you posted after like 5:30 a.m. this morning, I might have missed it because I was up reading early before yoga. So but I am so excited for this season and for this group. You guys, we have 106 of you that have enrolled in this group. So I better see lots of clapping and cheers for this. This is going to be an interactive group, right? No like tuning out, no checking your email. We're going to be having some fun together. So anyway, I am super excited to be working with Noelle Delgrand. She is a new field development manager with us, and she is from Canada and working in Canada, but she's also partnering with us in our United States programs as well. So, and in the short time I have known Noelle, I just have to brag on her a little bit. She's amazing. First of all, she gets it. So you guys are going to be super excited about that. She knows direct sales. I'll have her tell you a little bit about her experience. She is such an incredible human being. You guys probably already saw her in the video. She was in the video. I literally got that script about 10 minutes before we announced the trip and was a pro. I am telling you, I have so much to learn from her. She was incredible. She's done some rally calls for some of our executive bound people from the last session, and she was just amazing. So anyway, Noelle, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
I would love to, and thank you, Cathy, for oh, am I muted?
No, I'm sorry, I did that accidentally. I meant to spot you.
It popped up on my screen. So I want to first and foremost say, you know, how honored and excited I am to be a part of the Pampered Chef team and the Executive Bound team. It is a big honor for me to work with Cathy. I'm already learning a ton from Cathy, and I am still immersing in all of the Pampered Chef isms. And to tell you a little bit about what I bring to the table, I do have about 16 years of experience in direct selling, network marketing, in different corporate roles, different companies, and I have experience both in party plan and in social selling. So oh, thank you. I'm seeing a welcome pop up in the chat. Thank you, Christy. Really and truly, I think what drew me to this industry is the insane ability we have to impact people in a positive way and to really help people, offering not only an opportunity to earn money and improve their financial situation, but the opportunity to improve their social situation, to offer them a community that maybe they don't have access to in other parts of their life. And what keeps me in this industry is really the same thing, just that huge positive impact that we have the ability to have on other people. It is not like a traditional job, and there is no other job like what we have to offer, where you can just really see people personally develop to a whole new level by belonging to a community like what we have at Pampered Chef. And I'm going to tell you, as I said, I've been with a couple of different companies, and what I'm already seeing, I'm only 3 months in here at Pampered Chef, what I'm already seeing is really just how truly open all of you are to celebrate each other, to lift each other and support and teach each other, and how open you are to learning from each other. And that's actually extremely unique. So when I say I've been other places and then coming to Pampered Chef, it really is such a unique environment here, and you're all so really and truly a family. And so I'm already feeling that. Cathy and the other FDMs have already made me feel like I'm part of the family. And so I'm really excited to be able to bring my experience, combine it with everything you're already doing here at Pampered Chef, and we're gonna have a tremendous time in this group. So I'm super excited that I'm a part of it.
Thank you, Noelle. I so appreciate that. Okay, so let's see. I was going to try to unspotlight the video, and now it's not let me, okay, there we go. Okay, great. So I'm going to jump right in. I forgot to say today is Tuesday, January 7th. So for all of those people listening to the recording, they're going to know which recording they're listening to. And of course, this is our first executive bound call of the year. And you guys, normally we start these programs in February, but we had so much momentum going from 2019. We were like, oh my gosh, we want to start right away. I also know we have many, many people that want to become executives right away so that they can attend Empower as an executive director. So by qualifying in January and February, by March 1st, you're going to be able to attend Empower as an executive director. So that's really very excited. We, as I said, we have 106 people that have joined this. And as your field development managers, we are 110% committed to helping you reach your goals. So last fall, you guys, we had 73 people in the program. And we, out of just that program, had 23 executives promote, which is like mind-blowing. I'll share all the stats with you a little bit later, but it was almost double the year before. I think we had about 40 people. So that just gives you an idea of the growth and what's happening at Pampered Chef in the last year or two. So I'm super excited. I know that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to get so much out of this program, and we can just feel it by your Facebook posts. Like I said, you guys have given me so much joy just reading all of that. So I know that you guys are excited as well. So before we get into all the super fun stuff, we're going to talk a little bit about the benefits and the requirements of the program. So Noelle, do you want to start us off?
Yes, absolutely. So I know that just as Cathy said, a lot of you are very excited to be coming into this group, and we're going to talk a lot today about feelings you might be having, and we want you to really share with us because we all are coming from different places. So the executive bound training will run through June 30th. So even though the focus is for all of you to reach your goal by June 1st, know that the program will continue through June 30th. And the team's focus is going to be on taking the necessary steps to become the leader of an executive team. So through this program, you're going to receive specialized leadership training from Pampered Chef's field development team, most predominantly Cathy and I, and other people may join us at different times. And we're going to take you through different topics every month that are essential for getting you to that executive level. You're going to be recognized for your success. Every month, about mid-month, we're going to post our top performers. You will benefit from networking with the other like-minded directors on this team. And the more engaged you are in the group, the more you're going to benefit from being a part of this group. We've seen great friendships and relationships form from these groups. So we really want to encourage you to be engaged on the Facebook page during our Zoom chats and our webinars, whenever you have a chance to speak up, contribute, ask questions, answer questions. We really encourage you to be engaged. Share your successes as well, because we all gain inspiration from what each other are doing. So asking your peers questions, sharing successes, we want to make sure we keep our Facebook page very positive. And that doesn't mean you can't ask for help or ask questions. We just want to keep it a place where we don't complain. And so we want all of you to join this group knowing it's all about being solution focused. All right, so you all received the at a glance sheet with your confirmation email. So I hope you've already read this very, very thoroughly. And you're going to want to reference it before you reach out to us with your questions directly. Keep in mind there's 106 of you and only 2 of us. So if you do need to reach out to one of us, please do so using the Facebook Messenger. If you haven't yet friended us, please friend us. Our profiles are on that at a glance. And if you tag us in a post in the Facebook group, it will probably take us a bit longer to respond. So that's why we really encourage you to use Facebook Messenger when you want to reach us directly. Private messaging is the best. This sheet has all of the expectations, the dates, the links for the calls. And I know Cathy already did correct. We missed one of the dates, the Leadership Live for is tomorrow, not today. So I know Cathy already caught that that error. We make mistakes every once in a while. So
yes, thank you, Sarah Anderson, for letting me know about that. I really, and she even posted it and corrected it for me. So thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. If you haven't been added to the Facebook group, please make sure that you request to be added, because if we did miss you, please request to be added. And Cathy wrote, you've been tracking who has already joined, but we may have missed somebody. Yeah, so make sure you do reach out. If you're not, if you haven't been added to that page yet, please reach out and request to be added. All right, this is a great time to take a screenshot if you want to take a screenshot. Again, these are all on your at a glance sheet, but if you like to have them handy in a screenshot on your computer, this is a good time to do that. So our program is going to include our 3 cultures and other strategies that are going to guide you on your journey to an executive team. And today we will start with the 3 levels of leadership and how to create your own personal organizational culture. The first webinar each month is going to be an instructional and interactive webinar with all of you. The second webinar each month is going to be a Zoom chat featuring an executive director who's going to share their best tips and ideas on the topic that we covered the previous webinar. So that's always going to be a great time to ask questions. We know you love to learn from each other and you love to learn from your peers. So, you know, that's a chance for you to ask questions of somebody who's most often very recently been where you are. So that's going to be great. You may have heard the saying that good leaders ask great questions, and that's very true. We want you to write down your questions during the webinar so that you can ask them at the end as well. So all of those important dates are on there. We know that the Executive Bound program is running from January 1st to June 30th. And keep in mind, all of our webinars will be held at 12 noon Central Time. And the other dates are in your document as well. So with the Leadership Lives, these are going to be on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Central Time. And I've lost my note for this page, Cathy. I apologize.
That's right.
I think we just wanted to mention again, make sure that you have been added to the Executive Bound. What's the name of the group? Spring 2020 Executive Bound Team.
That's correct.
Yeah, so if you have not yet been added to that group, please request to be added. And Cathy and I will make sure that you get in there.
Okay,
Anything
thank you.
so far?
Yeah, fantastic. So we're going to kind of change a little bit about how we're going to do the Leadership Lives. And I love this. This was actually Noelle's idea. Because as I went through what we did last year, we really had a lot of conversation about things we could change and do differently from last year to improve, because that's always our goal, is to do better, right? And so we're going to do a 15 to 20 minute live the Wednesday after every single webinar. And so it will be maybe to clarify something that we shared on this, on the webinar before, maybe to expand on something, but really to reinforce the learning of what you will be getting on the webinar. So if you guys can mark those down and be on those for 15 to 20 minutes, I really think it will be worth your time as well. And by you guys jumping in there and sharing, that's very impactful as well. Yeah, so very good. So we are very excited to have executive leaders joining us. We have 21 executive leaders who promoted after June 1st. Actually, I think there are about 23. A couple couldn't join us, but 21 out of 23 have joined in to continue their learning, which tells you a lot about who they are and really wanting to continue to learn and grow, and also to be able to support you all in on these calls and throw in their comments as needed. So we have Becky Adams, Karen Batty, Krista Beakley, Lori Bedwell, Casey Burke, Kathleen Delphons, Jennifer DeNicholas, Jenny Gillen, Annalie Heinen, Christy McDonald, Lindsay Mackay, Karen Noble, Terry Palat, Dawn Pimbleton, Yvonne Platisha, Lisa Pohl, Katie Rupert, April Schillig, Vicki Wambach, Dee Weir, and Trish Woods have all decided to jump in. So big kudos and thank you to all of you that decided to do that.
And we're seeing lots of congratulations on there too.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. Thank you. So as far as requirements, it's a little bit different for some of you that have been in Lead or Lead Plus or maybe Lead the Way. So one thing that is the same is to submit the 8 or more shows per month. I will say if you're, 99, 100% virtual, you really should be doing 16 virtual parties. We are not counting that, but we really fully expect you to do that because that's what it takes to really succeed as a leader. And this is really about you knowing what's best for you and for your business. Personally recruit 2 new consultants or more per month. We certainly want to encourage you to go for more because if you're doing 4 and 1, then with the 16 shows that you should probably be getting 4 recruits a month, right? And then we want you to actively work towards promoting 2 or more directors. And I so badly wanted to change that, like to 4 or more, because so many people have been promoting leaders on a regular basis. And for you to get to that executive level, most of you are going to need more than 2. So we really want you all, though, to strive for at least 2 of those directors. We do expect you to participate in all of our Zoom meetings, either live or in replay. If you do have to participate in replay, I really encourage you to listen within 24 hours because sometimes there's very timely information in there. And we usually will have a post on our Facebook page to have you comment on. And so we ask you to do that right away, and we do look at that. Of course, we have our leadership lives every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central. If you can't be on for some reason that day, then please do, check it later that day. We also want you to be open to personal coaching. Most people are. Usually that's not a problem. Usually there's more people that want coaching than we have time for. And the way we will determine that is we're really looking at who's really ready to promote first. Those people are going to get most of our one-on-one attention right off the bat. So when you guys filled out your survey, you checked, what your goal date was. And those who checked March 1st, they're going to be in qualification in January and February. So those are the first people that we're going to be focusing on. Now, because this is a 6-month program, we decided to give you guys an extra pass. So instead of getting 3 passes and being out on the 4th, you will get 4 passes and be out on the 5th. But my hope is that nobody's going to be out. Right, Noelle?
Exactly.
So we are planning on all of you being very committed to not using your passes. All right, now I'm going to share my philosophy on passes. Passes really are not for missing your shows or your recruits. I really want you guys to strive and implement the necessary activities to make sure that you're getting the 8 and 2. Now you can use it if you miss it. So if you break your leg and you can't get 2 recruits, okay, maybe we'll let you off the hook unless you recruit the nurse who's taking care of you. No, I'm just kidding. Well, not really, but anyway, passes are for, if you're really sick, if, something happens, but you really don't want to rely on those passes. We're really going to challenge you guys just to really create the plan that you need in order to succeed. And if you don't know how to make sure you have 8 or 16 shows and 2 recruits every month, those are the questions you should be asking during these webinars and during our Facebook Live. All right, because we can talk to you about how to make a plan to definitely make that happen. All right, so that's a little bit about how that will work. Now, for those of you that were,
Cathy, and just share, Jennifer Lewandowski wrote #no passes.
I love it. Let's see how many we can get going on that hashtag.
Yeah. No passes and no excuses, Brittany said. Let's do this.
I love it. I love it. So if you guys were in Lead or Lead Plus, you do know that we had people report their call to action of their homework. Now that you guys are in executive bound, that's one thing you do not have to do. So we don't want to bother you guys with reporting it, but it is expected that you're always going to do the call to action because you're not going to grow if you don't, because the call to action is meant to really help you grow your business. So you don't have to report your homework. You don't have to report your call attendance. You don't have to report, that you took a pass. We're taking care of all of that. We really wanted to remove that burden of all those logistics. We want you guys focusing on doing your shows, getting your recruits, and really working with your team to promote. So those people that I was talking about that are already focused on month one, these are the people who filled out the survey that are going for month one in January. So let's hear it for Danny Kellentine, Denise Casares, Kristen Coy, Claire Dolger, Kayla Ford, Mary Grant, Susan Hammer, Rachel Hansen, Amanda Henderson, Gina Oliveri, Brooke, how do you say her last name, Noelle?
Wait, my chat popped up right on it. I need to learn from Brooke this weekend for sure when I see her at leadership exactly how she pronounces it. But I'm going to say Zipansky.
Okay, that works for me. You guys will have to help us with your names if we don't know them. And Janelle Vierick. So yeah, so Canada is doing a separate little leadership this weekend. So Noelle's going to be a part of that, and several people.
Big leadership, Kathy.
What is it?
Leadership.
A big leadership. That's right.
It's going to be awesome.
Did I say little? Well, it's not going to be as big as this, Empower.
Right. That's right.
So what's so cool about that list is those people that reach that goal, they are going to be able to attend Empower as an executive director. So we are very, very excited about that. All right. Now, we had mentioned to all of you, our goal is for all of you to promote June 1st. Now remember June 1st, because in the past, our conferences were in late July or they were in August. So you could qualify July 1st, but to be recognized as an executive team, you need to qualify in April and May so that you can be a director by June 1st. Okay, so speaking of qualifications, I'm actually going to stop the sharing of the screen for a minute. And I would just like to know if there is anybody that knows, let's see, how do I get the full gallery out here?
Yeah, put the gallery view.
There we go. We love that beautiful face, Noelle, but we just want to see everybody.
Oh, no.
So I would love it if we could have somebody who could share what the U.S. requirements are to be an executive director. So be bold and brave, unmute yourself and jump right in.
You need 6 frontline and 2 second gen directors.
All right, Sabrina is on it. Thank you. And Sabrina, tell me about those 2 second gens. What's a special rule that applies to those 2 second gens?
They have to be from different legs.
Yes. Okay, so they can't be under the same first generation leader. So that's really important to know. Okay, do you know what the sales requirement?
Up, Sabrina.
What'd you say, Noelle?
I said, great job stepping up.
Yeah, I know. So tell us, do you know, Sabrina, what the sales requirements are? Organizational.
Dum, 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 dum. No.
48,000.
Okay, Erin knows. What is it, Erin?
48,000.
All right, and Kathy knows 48,000. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah,
All right,
and in
and then-
Canada, it's 60,000.
And Canada, 60,000. Very good. Okay. And the key to remember, because it was funny, like even halfway through, even though we showed the requirements every time last fall, we had a couple people that said, I didn't realize you had to qualify 2 months in a row. So what that means is you have to be in full structure if you're going for January, February, of having all 6 first gen qualified and your 2 second gen from different lines, all director green, ready to roll in January and February. That means then March 1st, you will be an executive leader. Okay, any questions on that or comments? Okay, so you guys, of course, can find all of this in our career plan guide. Oops, oh, look at that. Now I lost my page here. There we go. There it is. All right. So if you want to take a screenshot of this, you can certainly do that. This is for US. It also talks about the perks. I want to make sure that you guys know about the leadership bonus when you promote a second generation leader, the car allowance. Some of those bonuses people are not aware of, so that's really valuable and important to know about. So if you want to take a screenshot of that, you can. And then here is Canada. Same thing, lots of bonuses for promoting second generation leader, car allowance bonuses. So if you're from Canada and you want that screenshot, go ahead and take that. So the important thing we really want to talk to you guys about and have you share with others so we can get to know you is a little bit more about your why. And I love this quote about your why. So I would love to have a couple people who are willing to just share. Let's go ahead and put it on gallery here so we can see all of you. And why is it that you want to promote to executive director? Why do you want to be the leader of an executive team? That's how we like to say it. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and unmute and jump in. We'll take one or two, whoever's the fastest.
Hi there. I think being an executive director and beyond means you're totally focused on growing others. And there's no limit. You're not saying, oh, I'm comfortable at senior, so I'm just going to stay here where it's safe. You're like, who else can I grow and help earn and achieve? And it just means you have a team of people who are earning more, achieving more, and reaching their potential. And I just think that that is the coolest thing of this business.
I love it. And Francine, that's fantastic. And I will tell you, I saw lots of heads nodding. And with that perspective, Francine, that's going to get you there so much quicker than any other, perspective, because you're so focused on helping other people. So, and Francine, tell us where you live also. I forgot to have you guys share. Tell us your name and where you live when you come up. Go ahead, Francine.
Oh, Francine from St. Catharines in Canada, in Ontario.
Okay, fantastic. Noelle's cheering for all the Canadians.
I'm Buffy Johnson, and I'm from South Dakota, United States. And I just totally ditto pretty much Francine. Also, the extra income is huge, and not just me making more income, but the women and men that I work with, helping them achieve a higher level of income because I know they deserve it too.
Love it. I love it. And I love everybody who's posting in the chat. Very good. Thank you for posting all those. Let's take one more.
Cathy, can I jump in? This is Priyal.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm going to go back to what Francine said. I mean, we all are going to pretty much say the same thing, but I've been with the company, it'll be 28 years in March. And I've been around a little bit. But my whole thing is, and this is where I'm going to be brutally honest here. I rarely am a big commenter about anything. I sort of keep in my own little world kind of thing. But after 28 years and being a senior for a very long time, I used to do what Francine says. Oh, I'm happy at senior, leave me alone. I'm doing great. I'll just stay here until I retire, when I'm pushing a walker across stage. But, and I finally and I wasn't exec bound last time, and I got very intimidated. I'm not going to lie. And I said, okay, I put enough pressure on myself. I don't need you guys putting it on me. And then when the invitation came again, and I'm like going, okay, Priyal, it's time to get real here. Do you seriously want to keep, doing what you're doing? You've got a team that's growing. I like to think of myself as a good leader, but I realized when I finally said, yes, I'm going to do this, I had to own my own, what I'm saying here. I had to finally own up to it and say, I'm very comfortable, and I can't be comfortable anymore because I'm not doing my team a service by staying complacent and comfortable. Though whatever happens will happen. So I finally realized, okay, I'm going to do it scared, and I'm going to do it for the benefit of my downline. And like Buffy said, for what they can get out of it, monetarily, emotionally, supportive wise. But I had to do it for myself because after 28 years, we do get very comfortable and we know what we're doing. And it's time to, what is that saying? Stand up and fly right or something. But
that one works. I like it.
That was really, for me, it was a big getting yes.
Priyal, you just gave me goosebumps. That is fantastic. I so appreciate your honesty and being authentic and being you. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's fantastic. So we were actually going to get to that next because we wanted to really, make sure that you guys know that this is a safe place. This is a place where you can share exactly how you're feeling. And, when we come together, we want you guys to know that this is just like your team. And this is the picture we want you to have in mind, right? That when we come together, we're going to have fun. We're going to have lots of interaction, but this team is here to support you. This is a safe environment. There's no judgment. You guys, this is about you reaching your goal. We're just here to help you do that and to help stretch you. And, you know, we want you to be honest about all of that. So we realize that there's lots of people that are very excited and, you know, very confident, they're ready to go. We also realize there are some people that might be very scared, right? Or very nervous. So I would like to have you guys just type in one word in the chat, your most honest word about how you're feeling about promoting to executive. So and I'll have Noelle read a couple if she can. I know they're probably going to come flying in here.
Somebody's nervous, determined, intimidated, excited, terrified, empowered, impatient, thankful, want this so bad, empowered, ready, they are going so fast, motivated, queasy, scared but excited, nervous, determined, ready, empowered, enthusiastic, doing it scared, nervous.
I love it.
So we knew there would be a range of where everybody is coming in. Unconfident, Erin, is that a word? Less
It
confident.
works.
You're
It
just
works.
less confident at the moment. You're going to get there. Nervous, tentative, determined, absolutely motivated and scared. Absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So you guys, I want to say, first of all, if you are excited and scared, that's a great goal. That means it's a stretch and it's a good goal to get you out of your comfort zone. I know some of you feel like this. Anybody feel like this? I saw some of you post that you feel like this. So I want to just talk about fear. Yeah. And if you have phones ringing, you guys could just mute yourself. That'd be great. So fear, and you guys can take a picture of this slide because this is super great for your teams to take a look at. Fear is false evidence appearing real, all right? And I just want to share with you guys a little bit about the results that we had because we had 28 executive leaders promote last year. The year before we had 12. So we more than doubled it. So there's so much support, the promotions, you know, not only the home office team, but all of your peers. And so we're really excited to cheer you guys on and help you get there. And we've had people hit month 1 and not hit month 2. And guess what? They survived it. So, you know, we've had people come close 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. It's okay. This is not a race. This is not about comparing yourself to others. This is about your goal. And the goal really, you guys, should be just to bettering yourself every single day. And one of the things I always tell people is that fear is the primary restraining force that keeps people from reaching their full potential. And again, if you want a screenshot of that, this one is great for your team to see. It's the primary restraining force. So the thing that's really interesting, I love this quote that says, most fear is self-created. Most of us live under the illusion that things outside of us are causing our fear. But remember, while the experience of fear will be very real to you, the source of the fear is in your own mind. So if you guys have ever read, let's see if I can find it in my bookshelf. This is an oldie but goodie. So this is The Aladdin Factor by Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen. And if you need help with fear, if you need to help your team with fear, there's some great word choices and language in this book that will help your team to overcome fear. And I know some people say, don't tell me that I don't have fear because my palms are sweaty, my voice is shaking, my heart is racing. Somebody said queasy, right? But the source of that fear, you guys, is in your mind. If you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to look bad. You guys are listening to lies. And I will tell you personally, whatever I do, when something like that comes up in my life, because we're all human, we all have it, I literally put my hand up and I say, stop, that's a lie. Because I want you guys to think about what is really true. And so because fear is self-created, as the slide says, you get to create the narrative. So I want you to create a narrative with a positive outcome. And if you struggle with this, that should be the first thing you write down for yourself. I didn't put it as your call to action, but you should write that down. Is how are you going to overcome your own fear? How are you going to recreate the narrative in your head so that that's not the case? All right. So the sweaty hands and whatever, that's still based on your thoughts creating that. So that's what I challenge you to do. And I'm going to just, in this little piece on fear with this quote. And this was really great because I was actually getting ready to run my very first marathon. I'd done some half marathons and some triathlons, but I was freaking out. And I was like, you know, here's what I'm worried about. I was coaching somebody, and she had done some marathons. And I said, my biggest fear is that they're going to take down the finish line before I get to cross it. I'm like, I'm going to do all that work. Well, the good news is the finish line was up, but the beer was gone. So that's okay. I didn't really need the beer anyway. But it always baffles me why they give you beer after a race. But anyway, but she gave me this quote, and I don't know who said it, but I love this quote. And it says, the truth is you're not defeated until your doubts and regrets take the place of your dreams. All right, so you guys keep that in mind, share that with your team. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move forward and talk about our vision. This is our executive bound vision. I see lots of comments coming in here too. So
yeah, Jennifer shared that she really needed to hear this today. She's having a few tears. Thank you so much.
Oh, bless your heart. Jennifer, we love you so much.
Yeah.
Sorry, Noelle, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt
that's
you.
good. A couple other people mentioned it sounds like they're kind of marathon. They want, they're running towards the beer.
Okay, running towards the beer, okay. All right, so here's our vision, you guys. We really want you to focus on training that we're going to be giving you and other training you can get, networking with your peers, and accountability. And you're going to learn what it takes to become an executive team, and we're going to have fun in the process. We like to have fun, don't we, Noelle?
We sure do.
So our vision is to have more teams reach executive leader status this year than last year, which is going to be a challenge because we had 28. So I will tell you right now, we have 77 teams. We have 77 executive level teams. Do you know how long we stayed at about 52 or 56? So it's super exciting to see that there's 77 teams. And we have a goal to have 100 executive teams by October. But I think we're going to do it before then. So how can we beat 28? I want to see you guys type in the chat. How many executive teams do you think we can promote this year? All right. So we still have the same momentum going. We've got more people building teams. So there's no reason that we cannot surpass what we did last year.
So 46, 44, 40, 30, 48, 40, 50, 40, 50.
Wow.
35. And Ashley says everyone on this call.
I love it.
106, so the number in this group, 40 for our 40th year.
Oh, I like 40 for our 40th year. I would be thrilled with 40. I love the 50 number, but I think 40 sounds like a good number.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll take those numbers back to the team and we'll go from there. So if you need that inspiration, I want to show you guys a chart that we updated a few months ago that shows what has happened to teams that have really focused on growth. And if your little pictures are in the way, just move them off to the side or move them up to the top of your page so you can see this chart. Now, I want you to think about right now, what is your in count on your team? All right, some of you probably have around 50, some might have 100, some might have more in this higher range. All right, so let's just start with leader number 5. And this is what happens if you commit to 8 cooking parties or 16 virtual shows and 2 recruits a month. Every single one of these people have been part of Lead, Lead Plus, or Executive Bound. So leader number 5, and obviously these are people that were focused on growth because they were meeting those requirements. When leader number 5 started, let's not say when she started, but in May of 2018, her in count was 52. And by May of 2019, by following the 3 cultures, by implementing the training that we've shared, by really networking, she ended up with 297 people in her organization. Her organizational sales went from 24,000 to 153,000. She went from 1 leader to 11. And she went from advanced director to executive. Look at her paycheck. She went from $2,600 to a $10,000 paycheck. How many of you would not mind having that paycheck? All right. Super exciting. All right, let's just look at leader number 7, because I know there are some people that have 100 people on their team or more, may not have the structure in the right place, but we're going to work on how to do that. Went from 111 to 498. This is in 1 year, you guys. From 39,000 in monthly sales, that's her May monthly sales in 2018, to 236,000 for her May monthly sales in 2019. Pretty impressive, right? And then she went from 6 leaders to 24, from senior director to executive director, and from less than a $3,000 paycheck to a $9,000 paycheck.
Yeah.
All right, are you guys impressed by these numbers?
They are very impressed.
Yeah.
And I know somebody mentioned earlier in the comments that their daughter is getting married and she is going to have a very expensive wedding. So.
Oh, very good. All right. So the last one I just want to point out, let's just go straight to the income. This is somebody who went from a $3,900 paycheck to a $17,251 paycheck. All right. So what I would like to know from you guys, what would you do with that $10,000 or $15,000 or $20,000 paycheck? You can pick it, but I would love to see you guys post in the comments. And I know these are going through fast and furious, but I actually copy and paste all these comments and read them afterwards so Noelle and I can take a look at them.
Yes, Danny's going to retire her husband. Ashley's going to be debt-free, pay off my debt and buy a house. Finally buy a house, buy my husband a truck, kids college loans, save for retirement, a truck and a camper, build a shed and get a new vehicle, in-ground pool.
Woo, I'm coming to your house. Who's building the pool? Who's building the
They're
pool?
moving so fast. I'm so excited. So
When you
many.
build your pool, invite me. I'll come.
Yeah. Retire my husband, home renovations, more travel, paying off debt and getting a new car, military retirement in 2 years, college, paying off debt, paying off your lake house,
Nice.
debt-free college tuition, retiring hubby, and paying off cars.
I love how many people want to retire their hubbies. That's
Yeah.
awesome. What a great goal.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That was always my goal. My husband's about to retire, and I'm not. So, all right. So I wanted to show you guys these slides. So these, unfortunately, these haven't been updated because we just got the official promotions last night. But you guys, we have 43 executives, and we have created these pages because we're going to be adding your pictures to these as you promote. So we have 43 executives, and we have 14 senior executive directors, and we have 20 national executive directors now, you guys. Isn't that amazing? So we're going to keep updating these slides. Total of 77 executive leaders. And so there is a place for you on this board, and we want to make sure that you guys know that. We also have a place for you in a very special place, which is Alaska. So how many of you, I know our executives on the call were on the executive director call and heard all the details, but how many of you were on the nationwide call and heard about this Alaskan cruise? This is so exciting. All right, this is like a dream come true kind of trip, right? I already saw some people post. I think Emily was the first one that created the post for the Alaskan cruise. So Noelle, tell me what they're saying about Alaska.
They're so excited about Alaska. Somebody is so stinking excited. Cruise is a huge dream on the bucket list. So excited, so excited. Janelle missed the call, but she's heard about it and she's been asking for this since she started. Best trip ever. Somebody went in 2003. It's a dream trip. We're not able to go when you registered and regretted it. Husband will love Alaska. #1 bucket list item. I actually do agree. I think this is the kind of trip that very few people actually take the time and plan this and go on their own. And going in Pampered Chef style, oh dear.
Yes.
Amazing. Yeah.
So I want to know if anyone's ever been on an Alaskan cruise and what you enjoyed about an Alaskan cruise.
Carrie Allen went twice, her best trip ever. There were a few that said somebody paid 10 grand to go 2 years ago. So free sounds good.
Fantastic. All right, so you guys, you can watch the replay of the nationwide call. I'm not going to go over all the details, but I'm going to give you the key points. So the trip dates, so you can put it in your 2021 calendar, are January hello, did I make that? No, it's June, isn't it?
June. Yeah.
It's June. I wrote January. I meant to say June.
June.
Okay, so June 20th to the 27th. Oops. Now the earning period starts, it started January 1st. So if you guys are taking advantage of that blender, you've already recruited a bunch of people, that blender offer, that great kit, you're super smart. And the sooner you recruit, the better, all right? So January 1st to August 31st, you do have to become an executive director by September 1st. Now, I know you guys are all focused on June 1st, but do know that if for some reason that doesn't happen, we're not expecting that, but September 1st is the date that you would have to reach that goal. All right. So you need to personally recruit and qualify 10 new consultants by August 31st. Now for this Alaskan cruise, that, I'm sorry, that's $1,250. I meant to say $1,250 in US, $1,500 in Canada. You guys know that. Second, you have to hold the title of executive director by September 1st. And third, this is a new requirement. We have something called new sales volume. I am super excited about new sales volume because I grew up in a world of having new sales volume when I sold educational toys at Discovery Toys for 19 years. And it was my favorite measurement because it measured the success of new consultants over time. It's not just 90 days. So it totally changes your focus, your habits on really helping those new consultants to succeed. So you need 250,000 in new sales volume. We're going to be sending reports with that new sales volume to you. And this is the sales of your new consultants in your personal team and your first generation. Now, I think it's Friday. This information is going to be up on the website. So you guys check it out. Is that, keep me honest, Noelle, is that right? Friday?
Yes. Yeah, it'll be available. And so there are a few questions in here. So we know that the information is going to be posted for you by Friday.
Yeah. And I'll come back to those, but I want to get to a key piece here to share with you guys. So we'll come back to those questions if we have time afterwards. But also, you guys, if you have questions, wait till Friday, read all the information on that, and then you can reach out to field support and they'd be happy to help you with that. Also, look for an invitation. I will advertise it on the executive page and the executive bound page of a webinar that the field development team we're going to do to really help you figure out how to earn this trip. How are you going to figure out what new volume is all about? And don't be afraid of it. It's going to happen. You guys are closer than you think. All right. So I just wanted to mention the Oz principle real quick because this is something that we brought to Pampered Chef a couple years ago. But for those of you that maybe haven't been in Lead Plus or Executive Bound, to me, what this is all about, you guys, is that there's two benefits of being in this group. You're going to learn a lot about what to do as a leader. And to me, this Oz principle talks to you about how to be a leader, who you become. And so many executives say we have gained so much personal growth on our journey to executive director. And that's our hope for all of you. And so the Oz principle says that a thin line separates success from failure, great organizations from ordinary ones. Below the line lies excuse making, blaming others, confusion, an attitude of helplessness, while above the line we find a sense of reality, ownership, commitment, solutions to problems, and determined action. So I want you guys to always think of living above the line. All right, so you'll see the below the line is kind of that wait and see. I'm confused. It's not my job. How do I do this? Take responsibility for your own success. I always tell people we are always responsible for our own success. And, you know, sometimes we all get below the line, but the key is how quickly can you get back above it? I know I've had my moments. I try not to get below the line, but you know what? We are all perfectly imperfect. I am human, and we are all going to do that. But the more we live above the line, honestly, the easier your track to executive is going to be. All right, so what I want to talk about is creating your culture within your organization. And you guys know that the role of a leader at Pampered Chef is to build a large and productive personal team from which you continually promote new directors and help them to promote and level. And the question is, how do we do it? And so we have talked a lot about our 3 levels of leadership, and we're just going to do a really quick review of that. We have directors, we have leaders, and we have inspirational leaders. And I want you guys to think about how they differ. First of all, I'd love to have you guys type in the chat, what do you think directors do? All right, they direct, and directors are good at telling others what they should be doing, right? And so, guys, you don't have to type in the chat. I just told you the answer. All right. And leaders lead, right? They're going to inspire others. They're going to lead by example. They're going to set the pace. And that's what leaders do. And then we have inspirational leaders. Oops, let me say one more thing about leaders. When faced with a choice of which path to follow, they always choose the path that leads to the most success, even if it might be a more difficult path to follow. So the example of this is like, let's say in the middle of the month, somebody says, I'm not going to be green. How do you respond to that? So that's what I want you to type in the chat. If somebody in the middle of the month, it's the 15th, and they're like, not only am I not going to be green by 15, I'm not going to be green at all. How do you respond to that? Do you say, oh, it's okay, I understand? Or do you help them stretch, right? Do you help try to inspire them? What are some of the things that you can say? Noelle, do we have anybody typing that in the chat?
Cathy shares, the month is only half done. We have 2 weeks left. Can we talk about this? What's holding you back? Let's brainstorm some ideas. Girl, it's only the 15th. You've got plenty of time. What do you think you can do between now and the end? Sorry, I'm losing it.
It's good.
Yeah, so really having that conversation, that open conversation, and asking the questions. Which
I love it. So that's really the key, you guys, is saying, you know, let's brainstorm. And what let's brainstorm mean is you close your mouth and they start talking, right? Because you can give them all the answers. But if they start thinking about it, before you know it, they're going to own it, because people don't argue with their own data, right? And so then we have inspirational leaders who are inspiring others, they're setting the pace, they're leading by example. And then we say believe, believe, and believe. And the reason that we say that is we want you guys to understand that you have to believe in yourself, you have to believe in others, and you have to transfer that belief, right? How do you transfer that belief to your team to help them to believe in themselves as well? All right, so when you're an inspirational leader, what you're going to do is create a vision and a picture so clear that others can see themselves in it. All right, so that's super important that we're doing. And how do you become that inspirational leader? How do you become the inspirational leader of an executive team? And that, again, is creating that vision and culture for success. So we're going to talk a little bit about culture and what that really means. So culture is a set of shared values, goals, and practices that characterize a group, a team, or an organization. So you guys, what are your values? What are your goals? What are your practices? Before this call, I had you write down some words that describe your team culture, what it is and what you want it to be. So I'm curious, were you happy with where it was, or do you want it to change? All right, and maybe you are happy. That's fantastic. It means you've already created that culture. The other thing I want you to think about is we have these 3 cultures. We talk about these a lot, and the reason we talk about these is because they work. If you have teamwork and monthly activity, you have fast-paced recruiting growth, and you have career plan advancement, and you have honed those 3 cultures, you're going to have success. And we're going to be talking on each webinar about how to do that, starting with teamwork and monthly activity next month. All right, so you're going to have that webinar where we talk about that culture, and then you're going to have an executive leader come on live and give you practical application of how they apply that. All right, now the important thing, you guys, with culture is to know it, teach it, live it, and protect it. And that's why we don't stop talking about this, because if we don't keep teaching this, then it's not going to be sinking in your head. And it's funny, I have had people that have said, actually, I'll just say Dee Weir, I love Dee for being so honest and authentic about this. She said, I knew all those cultures. I thought I was really presenting them, and I really had not looked at the specific strategies and recommendations that the company gives to make sure I was implementing those 3 cultures. So first you have to know it, and that's what you're going to learn in this program. And then you're going to teach it to your team. You're going to live it out, right, by applying it, and then you're going to protect it, all right? So always focusing on that aspect. All right, so this is my question to you. I wanted to get to this because I know we just have a few minutes left. I knew we were going to run late. We had so much fun stuff to share with you guys. But you'll notice that if you were an executive bound before, this is more interactive, and that's what we really wanted this to be like. So I would love to have you guys type in the chat. I don't even want you to talk about what your culture is today, because if it's not where you want it to be, I want to hear more about where you want it to be. So type in the chat, where would you like your culture to be? And what words are you going to use to describe what you would like your culture to be? All right. So we also, those 3 cultures are going to be in there. But even besides those 3 cultures, what other things do you want your culture to be like?
We've got driven, recruiting mindset, urgent, focused, accomplishing, engaged, active, sharing, supportive and fun, energetic, inspiring, valuable, focused and determined, self-motivated. I know I'm losing some of you, but we're going to get back to these, and we're going to put some in the Facebook group too. How about we do that, Cathy?
Yeah, good idea.
Put some in the Facebook group. Motivated, supportive, engaged, team-oriented. Implementing the tips learned on this call series has completely changed the culture on my team. Jennifer DeNicholas shared that.
Wonderful.
Fun, community, motivated, driven, engaged. Those are big ones. Goal-oriented, engaged, working, recruiting, excited, driven, self-motivated and driven, doing it scared, fierce
Love
developers of teams,
Ooh,
builders with grit. I like that. Yep. Encouraging, inspiring, fast-paced
Great.
recruiting, engaged, excited, family, growth for all, belief, team players, self-motivated, supportive, energetic, engaged, and trust.
Nice.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna stop you there, Doyle, because we're gonna go through 106.
Yeah.
I love it. So I'm just going to give you guys a couple examples. I pulled some screenshots, and we're not talking really that much about vision boards today. We'll be talking about that next month, and I know most of you have already created them, and some of you have been like gotten it right down to a T, and some of them you're like, oh, I'm kind of struggling with my vision board a little bit. So here's an example from Team Kirby. I'm not sure which Team Kirby this was, but here's the thing I love. First of all, I love that she changed her name from Team Kirby to Be Brave. So a lot of people are taking their team name out of their culture. But what my favorite part of this is the tagline. So how many of you have a tagline? All right. So it says, be brave enough to go for what you want. So I love that, because what I want you guys to imagine for a minute, imagine that every time you recruit anybody on your team, or anybody recruits anyone on your team, they share the tagline of your team. So the conversation would be something like this. So Buffy, welcome to the Pampered Chef. Our team name is Be Brave, and we want you to be brave enough to go for what you want. Right? Like if someone said that to me, I'd be going like, cool, this team is going places. They're going to stretch me. Ooh, that makes me a little nervous, but I'm excited. They sound supportive. We're going to be brave, but we're going to be doing it together, right? I especially love the little extra fins on the fish. That's pretty cute. So we also have Kelly Mello. I'm not sure if Kelly is on the call, but I love her focus is the Inspire Tribe. And see her words here that describe this. This isn't a tagline. These are just words. So it could be a tagline. It could be 4 words. So she has dream, believe, hustle, achieve. I love that. Dream, believe, hustle, achieve. So that's what I really want you guys to think about. Now, some people even have a little symbol for their team. Like I know Yvonne Platisha, her team is the Shining Star, so they use stars for a lot of things. But you don't have to have a symbol or a mascot or, whatever, but you can. But I love that then she changed it for the trip. I was jumping on her page last night, and now they're focusing on the trip. And so, how fun is that to just do different themes? I also love that she added these little whisks down at the bottom. Mm-hmm. So when everybody becomes a green team with 5,000, then they get a green whisk, or a pink one for hitting, what is that? 20,000, I can't read it. 30,000 for purple, and so on and so forth. So I want you guys to think about this. I want you to think about your own team culture, what it is and where you want it to go. So maybe there's some things that you were doing that weren't really helping your culture to be better, or, you know, that you need to stop doing. Maybe there's some new things you need to start. And maybe there are some things that are going really well that you need to continue. So the first thing I want you to think about and reflect on is, what do you need to start, stop, and continue? All right, and we're going to put the same little picture on the Facebook page for you guys to share. What are you going to start, stop, and continue? And then I want to just give you 6 simple steps to create your own team culture. And again, this is aside from the, you know, our 3 cultures that we implemented: the teamwork and monthly activity, fast-paced recruiting growth, and career plan advancement. This is what separates you guys from every other team. So the first thing you're going to do is write down the words that you'd like to use to create your team culture. What are those words going to be? All right, just like Kelly had: dream, believe, hustle, achieve. Was that it? I forgot already. And then create your team name. Now, if you have your team name, your personal name in it, I don't mind that. Some people chose to take their team name out of it, so it could be really about the team. And then create your tagline, or just what words you would use to describe your team. Maybe it's just 3 words. Somebody was posting this morning about ABCs and something else. I can't remember who that was, but you might want to post that. It was ABC, and then there was something else. DBA, doing business as, I think it was believe, dream, achieve. So think about what you'd like that to be. I mean, this is really should be fun for you guys, right? So then number 5, I want you to, I'm sorry, number 4, if you want to create a little team symbol, you don't necessarily have to do that. And these are all suggestions. So it's totally up to you how you want to do this. Number 5 is, how will you share your culture with your team? So are you going to say, oh my gosh, so yesterday I was on this you know, call, today we did our Facebook Live, and now I've really got this figured out. This is our culture. You're going to maybe go live on your page. Maybe you're going to announce it at your next team meeting. Maybe you are going to do it on a Zoom chat. Think about how you're going to share your culture with your team. And then how will your team members share your culture, your team culture, with every new consultant that joins the team? How are you going to help them to understand what that will be? All right, so if you miss these questions, take a quick screenshot so you have them. I'm happy to post this also on our Facebook page so that you have it. I know we're just a couple minutes over, so I'm going to just wrap up here and let you guys know the great news. We have Executive Director Melody Harper is going to be our guest speaker on January 21st. And she's going to be talking about her team culture. And I'll tell you, Melody did an amazing job of changing her team culture. She said she felt like she didn't have a lot of the engagement. She has a great story she's going to share, and I'll just give you one little insight to her story. When she was first invited to lead, she had just lost the one and only director that she had. And within that first year of her business, she promoted 17 leaders. So you're going to be hearing from somebody who just like took, you know, the horse by the ropes, or whatever that saying is.
Bull by the horns.
Bull by the horns, the horse by the reins. She took control and really made it happen. So you guys are in for quite a treat with Melody. And then tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Time, we'll be doing our Facebook Live. We haven't decided if Noel can join me for that or not. I forgot to ask you, Noel. I think you might be on another call at that time. Are you tomorrow?
That's what I'm doing, Lead Plus.
Oh, okay. So, so anyway, so Noel won't be there, but I will be there tomorrow. We'll take turns, and some of them we'll do together. And, but we're going to just kind of re-emphasize this. So I want you guys to think about, what are some of the questions you have, you didn't get to answer today, so that we can talk about that more tomorrow on our 15-minute chat. All right. So I'm going to stop the share so I can see all of your lovely faces. And I want to respect your time. So if you guys need to go, I totally understand that. I'm personally happy to stay on for about 5 minutes here and answer some questions. If you guys have some questions that you want to type in the chat, or just unmute and ask, and I'm happy to jump in and do that. If you need to leave, I totally respect that. And Noelle, I don't know what your time frame is like. If you can stay on for a few minutes.
Stay on for a couple minutes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So somebody, Kelly Mello is asking, are we doing a book?
Are we doing a book? So that's a good question. Last time we did do the energy bus and kind of had a whole theme around it. And so we hadn't actually picked a book to focus on, but I personally already posted this actually. I encourage people to read a chapter from a book every day. And what I would love to do is have you guys share some books that you're reading right now. I know Kelly's been focused on The Slight Edge, which is a fantastic book. I have that one on my shelf as well. So what do you guys think? Do you guys want to have a book that we're all reading? Or do you want to just kind of pick a book that you would like to read? Type in your ideas in the chat.
Another question, Tammy asked, the chats on Zoom are only 15 minutes. Our leadership lives are 15 minutes, Tammy, but the Zoom chats are an hour.
I probably said it wrong. I apologize. So yeah, these Zoom chats will always be an hour. Our leadership lives are 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody just put on Atomic Habits. And I have to tell you, so I was on a call last night with some of my friends from the John Maxwell team. Most of you know that I've been through the certification, and it's a kind of a personal growth team that focuses on that. And they were with John Maxwell yesterday, and he walked in and said, I've just read 2 of the best books back to back that I've ever read, and Atomic Habits was one of them. And then the other one was Simon Sinek. It's a new one. Let's see if I have my notes here. That says what it was. Maybe some of you know what that one was.
I think the overall messaging is people want to be able to read on their own and pick their own inspirational books. So
Okay.
I think what we should do, Cathy, is ask people to make suggested readings in our Facebook group.
Yeah.
And share ideas, share books that have inspired them.
I love it.
Yeah. And that way everybody can gravitate towards the ones that are most exciting for them, so that we're also not asking people to reread something maybe they've done in the past.
Yeah, good point. Really good point. I love it. Good. So actually, if somebody wants to volunteer to post a book or a GIF or a graphic of what book are you reading, who wants to post? Raise your hand or unmute yourself and tell us.
I know. I have to scroll through the pictures.
I'll
do it. Somebody is saying yes.
If you want to unmute and volunteer, let's just know. Rachel Hanson's going to post it, right? Thank you, Rachel.
Start the thread.
So Rachel will post it, and if you guys can comment within that thread of the books, then everybody will find all those great book suggestions in the same place.
Awesome.
Okay, good. Any other quick questions? And you guys, I'm big on audibles. I saw somebody say I'm not a big reader. I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard of Sacred Pace. It's kind of a little bit more corporate-y, but it's a really cool perspective on, how not to be too busy in your business and have life balance, and just kind of some things that this guy, Terry Looper, went through. So, and I'm almost done with that one, but okay.
Well, this has been exciting. I really just want to, give you guys a shout out and say thank you so much for all the sharing and being open with each other, because as Cathy and I have chatted about, that's what's going to keep, the energy going in this group throughout the entire program. So we really appreciate just how much you're stepping up. It's awesome.
Yes, I'm so excited to be working with you guys. So, and I know Noelle is as well. So, all right, you guys. So, Sarah asked me to talk a little bit about the new sales volume. I'll just say one quick thing about that, and then we'll just handle all the rest of the questions tomorrow. So new sales volume is the sales from your new recruits from January 1st, anybody that you recruit in January on throughout the earning period. All right. And so the promotion ends on August 31st. So if you recruit somebody on January 30th and they didn't sell anything on the 31st, you wouldn't get any new sales volume from them. So it's your personal team and the people you recruit, which is your direct recruits, and the people they recruit, which is your indirect recruits. It's also your first generation leaders and anybody on their teams that are recruiting. So it's a huge group of people to pull from. So again, you guys can get the details on Friday with that, but I hope that explains that as well. Okay. All right, you guys. So I am going to take a look at the chat afterwards. I will send the replay of this after. Super excited to have all of you guys. If you have something that you need specifically answered, feel free to reach out to Noelle or I. We're really happy to have you guys, and I'll look forward to talking with you on the chat tomorrow. All right. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Take
Thanks,
care.
everyone.
Bye, everybody.